This is your host, Stephen Brent Sargeant. I do a lot of podcasts directly for, candidates and professionals looking to transition into the blockchain and crypto space, especially when it comes to compliance, AML, fraud, and other sorts of financial crime compliance. But I decided to switch it up today and do a podcast strictly for those companies, the blockchain companies that are hiring. Everybody is hiring. As a recruiter, I can see that the talent pool is shallow right now. And that just doesn't go for crypto and fintechs and even AML at traditional institutions. That's across the board. Every industry is getting hit hard, whether it's discussions about the big resignation or the big turnaround where people are making decisions during and after COVID. Of whether they even want to go back into these organizations. So I've actually thought of 3 tips, really great tips that employers can do to attract the top talent in the industry. The first one is pay a premium for talented professionals. I've been working with organizations and I've had my ear to the street when it comes to candidates that are applying for certain roles. And some companies are stuck in 2019 where they feel that they have the leverage. Organizations don't have the same leverage they do. It's actually these candidates that have the leverage. And what I'm seeing is that there are talented professionals, especially those that are just getting into the industry. I'm not even sure if I can put my finger as to what is it that they bring to the table, but they're more thoughtful when it comes to situations, when it comes to the holistic approach on a risk-based approach for a compliance program. They're just a lot more thoughtful with how they approach. They're not just workers. These people are leaders in their industries. And the fact that they're transitioning to crypto, they're actually transferring all those leadership skills. I think of people like Alex Cote, Nandita Merchant, Solani and Arjav, the couple that are just getting into crypto, and they're just so much more thoughtful about how they approach the scenarios. And to me, these are top talented people. Although they don't have all that crypto experience, they may not even have a ton of AML experience, but you can tell just by interacting, just by interviewing them. I'm thinking of like people like Ash AR, just a ton of people. I don't want to leave anybody out, like the Nilu Sons and the Divya, but like these are people that just get it. They understand how to operate. They understand and have a high degree when it comes to work ethic. And these are people that could help build your team up. They're team players. They're willing to work well with others. But I would pay a premium to get those people within my organization. I haven't watched hockey in probably a decade, but I remember there was a contract with, I think it was a New Jersey Devils player, Ilya Kovalchuk. Anyone that watches hockey will probably understand this. I think they locked him into like a 20-year deal because they just bet the farm on these people. And when you really look at all these organizations, especially in the blockchain analytics companies, there's the Aries, the Leots, the Amandas, the Ian Andrews at Chainalysis, the Kim Grower. Like these are people that I would blindly go work for just because of their presence. I trust them, I trust their trust within their own organizations. And I know either of these people could go from one organization to another, but the fact that they stay with that organization would be enough for me to want to come work for them and believe in the company without even knowing the company's values. There's plenty of people like that. And to invest in these people, we saw Michaela from Slack, the VP of culture and people, come over to Chainalysis. That is a huge deal. And if you can't see why it's a huge deal, I just even think of Liat, like Liat Shetret. I have a close, I'm biased with Liat because I love her and we have a close professional relationship. And I just think that there's only a few people in this industry that possess the poise and the gratitude and the skills to actually do the job, but actually caring. And man, when she went to Solidus Labs, that's a huge deal because like Solidus Labs, I think realizes like that person is not only going to do well within our organization and lead our organization, that person is going to draw the industry to us. That person is going to make other people want to come work with us from a talent acquisition standpoint. And even if you have to pay a premium for those people, the amount that you save in resources and time and training is exponential. So right now in the industry where it is, you see these stars, and I've missed out on a few people. So don't think if I didn't name you that you're not a star, but you see these stars, they're recognizable, they're undeniable. And you pay a premium to get them within your organization and keep them within your organization. So that's my number one. I hope that helps some of these institutions that are trying to like look at the amount that maybe other organizations are paying, but it makes sense to bring in these people, whether it's at a high rate when it comes to compensation, or just like a leadership role, or just building the support. If you're bringing these people in and you're saying, hey, listen, we're bringing you in, but we have this budget to build a team around you, that is probably going to be huge to those people. Secondly, you have to nurture your existing talent. I know a lot of you are saying, we are hiring, we have this position, and you can't disregard the talented people that you already have working with you. And the more I say this, the more it makes sense, is that you have to check in with your people. In the last 2 years, I don't care who you are, what you do, what ethnic background, what gender you are, you've dealt with some kind of uncomfortable situation. There's been nothing that's been regular about the last 2 years, whether it's the racial protest, whether it's the working from home balance, whether it's just being isolated and not able to travel. These are huge things. Are you checking in with your employees? And I don't care how many employees you have. If you're at the tippy top, you should be leaving a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute voice note to these people and just saying, hey, thinking of you, checking in, reach out if you need anything. And I think a lot of organizations aren't doing this. I think a lot of organizations are so worried about finding the next talent that they're not taking care and nurturing their people and checking in with their people, all the way from the tippy top people to the people that are handling your customer support and checking in. Like, when's the last time a CEO or CCO picked up the phone and just left a quick voice note for someone in their organization? I'm going to say probably slim to none. And I'm sure I'm wrong. I have no idea, to be quite honest. But you don't hear people talking about, you see the people with the swag bags and they're posting on LinkedIn that they got the t-shirt and they got the water bottle, which is great. It's nice to have those, chocolate covered almonds that are organic and gluten-free. But I think equally, if I got a message from my CEO and he said, hey, Steven, what's up? Just wanted to check in, make sure you're good, brother. Like, to me, that's worth it more than that $100, $200 swag bag by the time you ship it. It means that, hey, these people are thinking of you, they appreciate you, and they respect you. And I think more organizations should start implementing that. And then once you do that, you should be treating your community the same way. Because I think these organizations, when's the last time you checked in with your community? Not to sell them on a webinar, not to sell them on a product, not to talk about some project that you're working on. When's the last time you tapped into your community and said, hey, I appreciate you liking, supporting our posts, our report. I appreciate your feedback. We would love to connect with you. We would love to give you some features if you're a customer before everyone else have them. We would love for you to look at our report before everyone else does. When's the last time you've built that community relationship? And because once you do that, who wouldn't want to come work with your organization? And I know it comes down to bandwidth, resources, capital, but let's face it, a lot of these companies, I've seen several companies raising 60 million, like out of 60 million, you can hire somebody for 100, 200,000, and their sole obligation is interact with your internal employees and the community and make sure everyone's aligned. This is a huge white space. This is a space I'm trying to fill personally, but there's a ton of people that can be not just community outreach, not just rah, let's give them some swag. This is like, hey, are you taking care of your community? Are you nurturing them? Are you making them feel involved? Especially right now in the sense where people have a lot of sense of not feeling as part of a community. They feel like they're longing for something to feel part of a tribe or something else. I know tribe's not probably the best word to use, but they're looking for something to feel included in. With all this divisiveness going around the world, you have an opportunity to make your community feel like you're a part of them, like you're with them, and like you support them. Lastly, and this kind of piggybacks on to the last point, is support what your employees and your ex-employees are doing outside of work. And I'm going to use this as an example. I have no idea about this example, but I saw our friend Tara, who dropped some cryptocurrency cards the other day, and it was a huge success. I saw how huge. I bought a couple. Always buy two. In crypto, the best advice, and this is not financial advice, but the best advice I can get, whether it's an NFT, whether it's a physical project, always buy two, one for yourself, and I guarantee you're going to need one to either share with somebody else or sell it, who knows, and make a profit. So just like, everyone that's bought condos 10, 12 years ago, they always say, I wish I bought two of them. This is a situation. Anytime there's anything for sale in cryptocurrency, buy two. But she came out with these amazing cards. And I'm not saying that Elliptic didn't support her in doing that. But if I'm an organization, I'm going to buy up the first 100 and give it to our customers. I'm going to buy it up and share this post and start handing them out at events. And I'm not saying they didn't do that, but as I'm saying, from an external person for an organization that sees their employees either putting out content or doing a side project that looks fun and interesting or hosting events, are you supporting them? There's a lot of people that have done events outside of even traditional financial institutions, and they don't even get, the traditional financial institution doesn't get involved. They really don't support. They don't even actually want to put their name on it, when for $500, $1,000 or something else, you could actually support the organizer without even stamping your name on it. You could support the employees within your organization that are doing stuff outside of your organization, especially if it's the benefit of the community, especially if they're doing a podcast. You could actually sponsor the podcast and provide some funding for them to get the word out there, or curate the podcast as an internal podcast or for your internal customers. I see a lot of people creating content and doing different things, and I see very, very little support from their organizations. And I think that's a huge, huge deficit for these organizations. It's a huge opportunity. These people, whether they're doing good or bad. And I think it takes very little time, very little effort, and very little resources to support your own people, because when other organizations are throwing a conference, you're more than well to get your name on these huge conferences, which is great marketing ploy. I think it's better to invest that same dollars, that $10,000 that you're throwing at an in-person conference, where people are just coming to get swag, and you probably land very little actual leads or business deals. I could be wrong. That $10,000 could be invested in internal organizations, or even a project where you encourage people to do something on their own, and you provide them the first $500 as financing or startup money to kind of help support. These are things that companies I don't see doing. I could be wrong. And let me know if there are companies doing it, because I would love to hear those success stories. Let me know if your company has been doing any of these three things. Have they been hiring top talent around you? Have they been nurturing the relationships with you? Are they supporting what you do? And even ex-employees, I think it's important if you have such a strong relationship with them, which I feel the blockchain analytics community does. These are ways that you can support it. Let me know if these help to these organizations. And as a candidate or as a professional working with these organizations, reach out and provide some feedback to me, provide some intel. Am I wrong? Am I way off? Am I right? What are some of the things that would motivate you or help you or want you to stay within your organization? Or better yet, tell people to come work with your organization. Hope this helps everybody. We'll talk soon.